Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy, and I am back, ladies and gentlemen, with a brand new top 10 list. It's been a while since my last one, and I've been jonesing to do another one for quite some time now. So I asked you guys on my Facebook fan page, what top 10 list would you like to see me do? And a majority of you said that with Captain America Civil War coming out today, which as you can tell by my shirt, I am super stoked and pumped for, you would like to see me do a top 10 list of the best Marvel films in my opinion. And I am more than willing to oblige you. These are the Marvel films that in my opinion stood out the most based on their story, characters, visuals, and of course, their action sequences. And this list was constructed with every Marvel film made from 1998 to current day in mind, whether they be from the Marvel Cinematic Universe to Marvel Fox to the laughable Marvel Sony. But enough babbling, it's time to make the captain proud by getting this list started. So let's go! Kickstarting our list at number 10 is a film that helped Marvel gain some traction in the superhero genre, Blade. Everyone likes to praise how the first X-Men and Spider-Man movies were the ones to kickstart Marvel's rise to the top. And though they did a lot to help cement Marvel's place in the genre, the one that really got the ball rolling is the easily forgotten 1998 film, Blade. Though admittedly its visuals have not held up so well over the years, it's still a blast to watch, with its thrilling and well choreographed action sequences, performances that are a bit over the top but really fun to watch, and features quite possibly one of Marvel's biggest badasses, Blade himself, played perfectly by Wesley Snipes. I mean, just look at this guy. He just radiates coolness. I mean, he was rocking the shades and all black leather look way before Morpheus even thought about it. To sum it all up, as Blade once said,
"Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill."
That's right. Wait, what did he say? Soaring to new heights at the number 9 spot is Iron Man, the film that launched the Marvel Cinematic Universe and made it start off with a bang. Iron Man was such a huge and pleasant surprise to everyone. I mean, who would have thought that a movie focusing on a character that was considered to be a B-list and maybe even a C-list hero would not only be a massive hit, not only be the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but become one of the most recognizable heroes of the modern age overnight. The action was thrilling, the story compelling, the visuals on point, and the characters likable and memorable with stellar performances across the board, especially with Robert Downey Jr. as the rich playboy philanthropist we know and love, Tony Stark. Hell, if anything, he made the movie. And I know that plenty of you are quite shocked to see it so low on the list, considering that it is one of Marvel Studios' most critically acclaimed and beloved films. And though I acknowledge all the good aspects to the film, I can think of 8 other Marvel films that I enjoyed way more than Iron Man. That's just a personal preference, but I do still think that it's a really good superhero film. Uniting for a cause at the number 8 spot is X2, X-Men United. Before the Avengers ever assembled, this was the definitive superhero team-up movie. I mean, mutants, good and bad, working together to stop an evil military man's plan of killing all mutants? Now that sounds like a hell of a good time. Not only was this film enticing from the premise alone, but it also has quite a complex story that is rich with character development and solid backstories, drama, tension, a little bit of comedy and tragedy with action so intense and badass. I mean, just seeing the X-Men using their powers was just a spectacle. The film undeniably has many great and unforgettable moments, but the scene with Nightcrawler in the White House is still one of the greatest and most gripping opening scenes to a film, superhero or not, that I've ever seen. In fact, I would go as far to say that it was a perfect scene. X2, X-Men United showed us how great a superhero team-up film can be and more. Getting hooked on a feeling at the number 7 spot is Guardians of the Galaxy. Now let me see if I heard you correctly. This is a film that follows a ragtag team of losers that consists of a charismatic hunk an ass-kicking green babe, alien John Cena, a walking tree, and a gun-toting, smart-talking raccoon who reluctantly team up together to save the galaxy. I'm in! Though not the most complex or even the most serious film on this list, it still was a fun time from beginning to end. From its upbeat opening where Star-Lord whimsically dances on a desolate planet, to its visually stunning space battles, to its colorful cast of characters, this film will have you saying, "Hail! What's the matter with your hair?" With Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel Studios once again proves that they could take a team of nobodies and turn them into overnight celebrities. Proving that not all Marvel movies need to be serious to be successful is my number 6 choice, Deadpool. Though this film is the most recent film on this list, it most certainly made a huge splash. Arguably the funniest and most vulgar Marvel film to date, Deadpool not only pokes fun of the modern day superhero genre, but also on the superhero persona itself, as our protagonist is not a virtuous man, he's not a righteous person who fights for the right reasons, for the right cause. No, he's a very selfish individual that fights for very selfish means in order to get vengeance on a guy for very shallow reasons. Plus, he kills people as if it was nothing. Full of witty and sharp dialogue, inside jokes, and pulp culture references, it's Deadpool's script that is the true hero of this film. Not only that, but it also had some kick-ass action sequences that also delivered a lot of laughs. Add the impeccable performance by Ryan Reynolds as the Merc with the Mouth, and well, you're in for one motherfucking good time. Slinging his way into the number 5 spot is Spider-Man 2. This right here is the perfect example of a sequel that not only lived up to the original, but surpassed it in every aspect. Everything, and I mean everything, improved in the sequel. Better drama and conflict, richer character development, well-structured and compelling story, solid cinematography, great direction, more convincing and believable performances, and some of the best action done in a superhero film with visuals that still hold up to this day. Peter Parker in this film was a more fully realized three-dimensional character. You actually felt the pain and suffering, the turmoil, the conflict, the joy, the happiness, the sadness that this character felt. You understood the struggle he was going through, and you related to him. You resonated with him, and you wanted him to succeed throughout the film. And this film still has my favorite villain in any Marvel movie, and that includes the MCU, in Doc Ock, played masterfully by Alfred Molina. I mean, seriously, that guy was not only menacing, he was cool, he was badass, and I loved his tentacle arms. I mean, he still is such a visually stunning and compelling villain. Spider-Man 2 most definitely lived up to the hype and was all around a great and really fun superhero film. Clawing his way into the number 4 spot is the Wolverine. Though people's feelings for this film are mixed, I still stand by my opinion that this is the best Wolverine film made at this point in time. Not only was the film well directed, well shot, had great lighting, a solid story, and shows Logan at his fiercest. I mean, literally, he is killing fools left and right with no hesitation. In fact, I would argue that this is the most brutal I've ever seen Wolverine as a character. But it also shows us Logan in his most vulnerable state, both physically and emotionally, as he's losing his powers of regeneration, and he's also trying to cope with the loss of his love, Jean Grey, throughout the film. And for some people, that was really jarring, seeing the indestructible, uncompromising Wolverine being hurt so badly and being heartbroken. I mean, we don't really see that from the character, but for me, that made him a more fully realized, three-dimensional and fleshed out character, showing that he has other feelings, that he's multi-layered instead of being the badass brute with the troubled past. We learn more about him as a character through this experience. That conflict, both internal and external, makes for a more dynamic and compelling character. And though the film doesn't have the flashiest action I've seen in a superhero film, it still was really engaging and thrilling to watch, especially given the fact that Wolverine for most of the movie isn't as indestructible as he used to be, adding more tension to the action as you don't know what the outcome could be. He could die in many of these scenes. Overall, as you can tell, I love the Wolverine, and I think that it is an excellent film in my opinion. Bridging the gap between the past and the present, both literally and figuratively, is my number 3 choice, X-Men Days of Future Past. What happens when you take Bryan Singer's X-Men franchise and mix it up with Matthew Vaughn's X-Men reboot?
You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that is true. But what you also get is one of the best X-Men films ever made. I absolutely fell in love with this movie. The story was engaging and compelling. The action scenes were intense and so cool to watch. The characters were deep and so interesting. Not to mention that the new cast of X-Men fit so perfectly in Bryan Singer's X-Men world. They felt right at home. I really enjoyed the fact that the main conflict of the film isn't necessarily Trask and his mutant killing robots. It's much more deeper and complex than that. It's more of an internal conflict between 3 characters: Mystique, Professor Xavier, and Magneto. Those 3 are the real driving force of the conflict in this film, and that made it all the more interesting and compelling. As per usual when it comes to how Bryan Singer directs these X-Men movies, he handles it so masterfully that honestly I cannot see anyone else leading this franchise besides him, as he has a clear vision for it and he does a great job at crafting it. In short, X-Men Days of Future Past really set the bar for future X-Men movies to come. Coming in at number 2 is the film that changed many people's opinions about the Star-Spangled Man with a Plan, and that is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. For years, I've defended Captain America against the naysayers, saying that he's actually a cool, interesting, and badass hero of the Marvel world. But people laughed at me saying, no way, man, that guy's boring. He's old-fashioned, he's played out, he's the Boy Scout. Nobody gives a crap about that guy. It's all about Iron Man, dude. That guy's cool. And every time I heard people bad-mouthing the Cap, my heart did sink. But then Winter Soldier came out, and all of a sudden, everyone's opinions about Captain America have pulled a 180. You're like, oh my god, Captain America's so cool! Captain America's so badass!
Captain America, he's cool now.
Shut up! You shut up, screen junkies. Captain America has always been cool. It just took you guys too damn long to realize it, and I'm finally glad you're on my team. You know, I don't care that it took this long for everyone to realize how cool Cap is. I'm just glad that you all finally like him now. And who honestly wouldn't like Captain America after seeing The Winter Soldier? This has to be some of the best action scenes in any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I mean, it's fast-paced, it's energetic, it's badass. I mean, the hits feel so real. I mean, that elevator scene where he takes down a bunch of guys while being pinned to a wall, he knocks them all out, beats them all up, and leaves like it was no big deal. That fucking Captain America! Chris Evans shines as Steve Rogers, aka Captain America. He truly embodies the character and brings him to life, and I can't see anyone else portraying the Cap than Chris Evans. Like, he just knocks it out of the park. Everybody does a great job in this film. And what made Captain America: The Winter Soldier so great is that it kind of transcends the superhero genre as well. It's not just a superhero film, it's also kind of like a spy espionage film, a thriller film. It's more of a mix of different genres. It helps it to stand out to the competition, proving that superhero films can be more than just superhero films. And the internal conflict and struggle that Cap faces in this film, having to cope with the fact that not only a friend that he thought was long dead is still alive and it's his last living friend, but the fact that now he has to fight this friend that has defended him in the past and has a really strong relationship with. He has to fight and defeat this guy. There's a lot of emotions in this battle for him. When you sum it all up, Captain America: The Winter Soldier is not just a great and compelling superhero film, but an excellent film, and much like The Dark Knight, a shining example of a superhero film that transcends its own genre to be something more. And now here we are at the #1 spot. And I bet some of you are really shocked not to see Captain America at the #1 spot, considering my love of the Cap and how Winter Soldier is considered to be the best Marvel film made so far. But there is another Marvel film that does feature Captain America, by the way, that I just love with an intense passion. Every time I see it, I fall in love with it over again. It is the true definition of an excellent, near perfect comic book film. And that, of course, is The Avengers. No film will ever live up to the hype and excitement and the joy that I felt when I first saw The Avengers back in May 1st, 2012. That was a visceral experience for me, and I will never forget it. The joy, the pain, the anger, the cheers, the jeers. It just was such a great film. It was a great experience too. Like when I went to see The Avengers, it was with a packed crowd and we all were just in that film. Like we all were just so into it, cheering left and right, like, yeah, go get him, Iron Man, go get him, Cap, oh, damn you, Loki. Like we were all just sucked in, we were laughing, we were having so much fun. That is the true definition of what a comic book movie needs to be. It needs to engage the audience. It needs to suck them into the world to make them forget that they're even watching a film. The Avengers does that in flying colors. The characters, they're all memorable, they're all great, they're likable, they have witty banter, they have a great relationship, and they all get to contribute to the team. I know a lot of people like to poke fun that Hawkeye doesn't do much, but he does contribute to the team. Like, watch the film again, he does do a lot. And I like that Captain America is the leader. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if people say that Iron Man's the true leader. Cap led the team in the battle for Manhattan. And that battle scene, whoo! There is just so many moments in that fight where I was on the edge of my seat cheering. I mean, come on. When the Hulk punches the giant like worm kraken monster and he flips over and then freaking Iron Man shoots his missile and it explodes and the Chitauri take their mask down and go, rah! And you got that 360 shot. I mean, dude. That 360 shot, that music, it's just so perfect, guys. I mean, I know it's cliche to say that The Avengers is my favorite Marvel film of all time, but I mean, nothing really equates to it. Nothing was built up so much to the point where, you know, we all were just waiting to see if it was gonna, you know, fail, or was it gonna fail, or was it gonna succeed? We didn't know what it was gonna do, and the payoff was so satisfying. It was so gratifying. You could call me whatever you want in the comments, a fanboy, a casual, but nothing will change the fact that The Avengers is my favorite Marvel film of all time. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the list of my top 10 favorite Marvel films. And I would love to know what you guys thought about my list. Did you agree with it? Did you disagree with it? Did you feel like I left any Marvel films out that you really liked? And let me know, what are your favorite Marvel films? And also, what are your least favorite Marvel films? I can make an entire list on that as well. And stay tuned, because tomorrow, I'll be giving you my Captain America Civil War review as I am seeing that film tonight. Oh my god, I bring my shield and everything. I am super stoked. You have no idea, guys. And I just hope it's gonna be a great film. I've been hearing some good things about it, so I'm super stoked. Are you guys excited for Captain America Civil War? You better be. And until then, guys, if you would like to see more videos on this channel and be a part of the Black Critic crew, please hit that subscribe button below, like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Watt II, the Captain America fanboy known as the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube!